Hi, it's Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, and you're watching Loudwire.
Speaking with the fans, you know, I was watching this video, you're kind of telling them about the studio space and just like the whole process of recording, super into it. And then you were kind of telling them about, you know, when the doctor came in and was feeling for your tumor and everything. And what I found interesting was that this was discovered near the end of the recording process.
Oh, at the end. I mean, when it all finished,
When it all finished. You said you kind of had felt like maybe something's a bit wrong for a little bit. Was it you kind of holding out, just like, I need to finish this record?
Oh no, it wasn't kind of holding out, but I was. I mean, you know, Dr. Google and Professor Wikipedia told me that there's a strong possibility that this might be a cancerous tumor.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if it is, do I really want to know now? Or would I prefer to wait 6 weeks until I've done all the vocals and finished the record?
Sure.
So that's what I did. And you know, I mean, I could have gone to the doctor and got it checked out, and then what? I would have just been like, you know, not had my mind on the job.
Yeah. Do you think that would have been, I mean, obviously to anybody, it's a huge thing to happen in your life. It obviously will take a tremendous amount of your energy, a tremendous amount of your thoughts. So when you really did immerse yourself into the recording, even though with this in the back of your mind, was it strictly in the back of your mind where you're like, I'm pushing through this, I'm focusing on the album? That's that.
It was, when I was singing, I mean, it was just not existing.
Yes.
You know, when I was writing, sometimes you'd be going, you know,
a little,
and but you know, it was my decision, you know. And I kept wondering when I'd go home at weekends, and I'd say, you know, sit there and having a beer, and so we go, oh, this lump. People go, oh yeah, you do, yeah, it's a bit of a lump, isn't it? Yeah. You should probably go see the doctor. I said, yeah, I probably should, yeah. Let's get the record finished first, yeah, you know. So finished the record, and within about, you know, 10 minutes of saying, that's it, we've done the mix on Empire of the Clouds, the guy turned up at the studio, the local guy, and did a quick examination. And from what he told me, I was like, I really need to get this looked at pretty seriously. And even then, it was relatively well. They said, you know, you've caught it at a relatively early stage.
Yes.
You know, and I think they say that to make you feel better.
Do you think so?
You know,
you did a good job feeling that out for yourself.
Well, no, I mean it was quite noticeable. You know,
okay.
You know, I mean, well, to me it was anyway. But you know, if you're a guy over 40 and you got a lump in the side of your neck, you should go and get it checked out.
There you go. That's I guess that's the moral of the story. But everyone is obviously overjoyed of the good news.
Yeah.
Is that you're doing well.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So
radiation and chemicals.
Just a blast, of course.
Right. You know,
having to push back a world tour. You know.
Yeah, we kicked that into touch by about a year.
Yeah.
You know, so the big thing was we had promoters. They hadn't booked the halls yet. But they were they were expecting an Iron Maiden tour starting in, like, you know, I think it was March or April or something this year.
Yeah.
So we had to tell them we weren't going to do it. And the next question would be, well, why? And so I said to Rod, my manager, I said, can you delay telling them till when? When is the last reasonable time?
Wow.
When you can tell them? Because as soon as you tell them we're not going to do the tour, you're going to have to give them a reason.
Sure.
And if you lie or give them the wrong reason, it'll get worse with the internet and rumours and everything else.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You know, and you could end up, you know, the wrong member of the band might end up having cancer. you know, or whatever it is, whatever crazy rumor there is, you know, because all this stuff is, it all gets out there. So you've got to tell, you've got to sort of tell it like it is. But what's the last moment you can get away with, you know? It was pretty much, I think we settled on the fact that my last radiation treatment was the 19th of February. So we told everybody on the 20th of February. But by which time I was at home and I was being, you know, the worst side effects are about 10 days after the last treatment.
Is that right?
It's right. It goes, the radiation, it goes zap, 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 and then it continues to peak. And then it does this and continues to do that for 3 months at least afterwards. So this thing is working on you the whole time. Obviously with side effects and all the rest of it. So at least that way, I was just at home being miserable and not outside, you know, being part of, you know, care in the community, you know, sort of shuffling around like this, you know, like, you know, I mean, feeling sorry for myself. So we did that, and that worked, and it also shortened the time that other people, like Iron Maiden fans, shortened the sort of the time that they were freaked out.
Yeah.
You know, because if we told them before Christmas, they'd already been freaked out for months. But this way, I was going to have a scan about three and a bit months, almost after they got told. So they just had to worry about it for 3 months. I had to worry about it for a little bit longer. And obviously, you know, when you get the results of the scan back, that's pretty definite, you know, that it's gone,
so,
you know.
Yeah, you can tell something definite, and we can,
Yeah.
well,
the other thing I found out from the scan was that I used to be a fish.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. There was a probably many viewers
gills?
watching used to be fish too. There's this thing that you get the anatomist and he does the scan and he says there's a total blah blah blah. Basically, it's gone. And he said, but note, there's a remnant of a thyroglossal criticoid something sub whatever it is. Duct remnant. And I went, what's that? He said, it means you used to be a fish. I went, okay.
You're living proof of evolution.
Yeah, or not.
Like, this is it. This is the moment where it's proven. Nobody can argue.
There you go.
Well, that's an interesting thing to learn about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's nice because in that time when you were telling, you know, the fans about all that stuff, you know, you're still joking about it, you're lighthearted, you know, and
what can you do? I mean, you're allowed to joke about it because you're in it.
I think absolutely, you know, but being I think a fairly private person, you know, at least compared to a lot of other musicians out there whose lives are like open books, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, does that kind of put you in a strange situation where you are going to have people saying like, "Oh, are you okay? Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that you're doing better," and that's, you know, just it's going to be a talking point.
No, but it's understandable. The funny thing is that when you know you turn up and the first thing, one of the first things one of the good things was none of my hair fell out.
Yes,
it's all real. Look, actually it's attached firmly. You know, it's you know. So none of this fell out. I was like, well, that's okay. But in protest about having cancer, I grew this really big hairy beard.
Really?
Yeah, the big beard. I'm like, okay, take that. You know? And then one day it all fell out.
Oh no!
Just dropped like it's Christmas tree, you know, and it gets a little dry, and suddenly all the little spines go plur on the floor, and it just went. I went, it's gone, and help, you know, and that was the radiation doing that. But all I was left with was this really nasty moustache that looked like and sort of like these funny little mutton chop bits here that kind of worked. And I just looked like an awful 70s porn star.
Please tell me you have photos.
And
please tell me there are photos.
There are photos. And the worst thing about it was when I, shortly after I got done with the treatment, and I went, right, that's it. I am going to go and get myself back onto solid food. I'm going to start trying to do some exercise. I'm just going to not let this thing put me on the floor. I went up to see the airship project I was in, and they said, "Oh, you couldn't give us a hand. We're doing a crowdfunding initiative, and could you do a video for us?"
Yes.
And I was feeling a bit rubbish, but I went, "Yeah, okay." So I turn up. So I'm stood there with this like stoush, big salmon, and they've got a little drone there, take the picture, And the guy goes, "You're in a hard hat area." I went, "Okay." On goes the hard hat, and I'm like. And I see the video and I'm like, it's the Village People. I'm like, it's got to go. It's got to go. And it came off the next day. And, small furry animals in the neighborhood were really relieved.